Thank you for joining us. This is Jess and Mike. This is our brand new podcast called Pillow Talk. We're going to be going under the sheets today. We started to do these podcasts. Not too sure how frequently they're going to be yet, but we'll try and make them as frequent as possible for you so that you get a good insight as to who we are and what we're about. But our aim with these podcasts is to give you basically an insight and an inside view of our life as individuals.
How we communicate.
Yeah, how we communicate. Basically a side of us that you don't see on social media.
Yeah, just I suppose a raw version of us as a couple and what makes us the people that we are.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about our backstory and who we are as individuals. Lots of people see us as Jess and Mike, TikTok, Instagram and OnlyFans, and basically that's all they know of us really. They've only known of us over the last few years, but obviously I'm 34, you're 33.
We're getting old.
We're getting on a bit, we've been around the block a few times, so we've got some stories to tell, I'm sure. But yeah, this first podcast is just going to be an introduction really. It's an introduction of us.
We're going to ask each other some questions about our childhoods and just what makes us the people that we are today.
Yeah. So as I said, this is our podcast. We are Jess and Mike, and this is our podcast, Pillow Talk. So I guess, do you want to...
Yeah, I think I'm going to start.
Do you want to start? Let's just get straight into it, shall we?
I feel like I'm the more of I like to delve into I think I've been like that our whole relationship. I've always delved into your background.
Yeah.
And wanted to know more about you, because I feel like that's the best thing that you can do with someone is to talk to them.
Yeah.
Communication, and I think that's played massive key into our relationship, hasn't it? Just talking and being open with each other.
It's definitely something that's made us who we are today. I think the relationship that we have is all based around the fact that we're able to communicate really well with each other.
Even if it's something that we don't want to hear.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly.
Some of the stories that I've asked Mike and I suppose that you've asked me are not really the things that you want to hear from your partner, but
stuff that I would never have spoke about to exes.
Been scared to talk about, and I think that's what's important.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you just a bit about your background, really, and so brothers, sisters, mum, dad, your childhood, what was your family like?
So I think I had a very normal childhood, to be honest. I had a brother and sister. I was the eldest of three. So my brother is 2 years younger than me. My sister is 3 years younger than me. Mum and dad still together. They had a good relationship. As there was never any problems or anything. Obviously, every parent has arguments, but it was never nothing ever bad. It was just very,
so you
very
generally
normal.
saw a happily married couple.
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you think that inspires you?
Inspires me in what way?
That you've still got that mum and dad happily married together, so...
I'd say, I think I obviously know no different.
Yeah.
I've never grown up with, I remember one of my friends having a mum and dad that were separated. Two of my friends, so one of my friends, his mum and dad were separated and he lived with his mum. He never saw his dad. And another one of my friends, his mum and dad separated, but he still saw both parents. And I remember sort of him saying that he'd go around his dad's and he'd always get money, and he'd go to his mum's and always get money, kind of thing. So he was always thrown in between the two houses, and each parent was spoiling him.
So you thought, mum and dad, you've got us out now.
Yeah, mum and dad, I've got this great idea. But yeah, no, I don't know if I saw that as I think I probably did see that as not a good thing, but I thought, oh wow, he's getting loads of money from nowhere, this is fantastic. But yeah, I never had a life that was like that, so I know no different. I've just always known my mum and dad to be together, and that's how it is. My nan and granddad were still together. They had a very great, what appeared to be, I say appeared to be, like it wasn't anything under the surface, but they had a great relationship on face value, and my mum and dad had a great relationship because of that as well. So I guess I guess that cemented in me that that's what it needs. And I feel like I always wanted a good relationship. I always believed in a good relationship. I always believed that there was a happily ever after, and that.
Do you think like their relationship made you like feel like that was out there for you, like, and that you weren't gonna settle for anything other than that?
I feel like that was always the end, like the goal is like that was the finish line. Do you know what I mean? You'd go through life trying to find someone, then you would find someone that you would marry and you have a good life with.
Yeah.
I think that's what I always thought would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the sex.
After, what do you mean?
Getting with people and just chucking them away.
Yeah. Well, I think you do that, don't you?
But you was never that guy, were you? So I suppose, like, as much as we spoke about it, haven't we? We spoke about how you were never that person who would go away, you'd go out and sleep with loads of women.
No.
And I think that probably goes down to that, your mum and dad, in the back of your mind, that's what you knew was right. So the sleeping around was maybe wrong. Like, I don't know, you explained to, like, you're the only person that knows deep down why you're not that guy.
I never really wanted to be that. There's always that saying, isn't it? Any hole's a goal. But I never really. I couldn't sleep with anybody. Like, I didn't want to sleep with just anybody. There had to be some sort of connection, whether that is. So you would date, and the mindset would be like sex, but also, do I want to be with this person? But then it would never be that kind of thing. Or I would be with that person, and I'd enter a relationship with that person, and a few months down the line it's like, actually this probably isn't what I want, and I'm bored now, and actually I quite want to be single now because all your friends are single and they're going out and they're doing things, and I've got to be thinking about partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
as much as that was the aim, it was too soon.
Yeah, it's kind of caught in the wrong. It was kind of caught in the wrong moment.
Yeah, and maybe that was a downfall for you, as much as like it's lovely having parents that are still together. Like, that downfall for you was that maybe it was cemented in you that that's what you thought was right, and that you couldn't sort of step out that box because maybe it disappointed your mum and dad.
You could say that. I think you are always like concerned about what you tell your parents about your dating
and
life,
how they look at you as
like, and how it's not embarrassing, but you don't want to keep bringing around another girl. Oh, look at this is Michelle, this is Sarah, this is Tracy. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be bringing around girl after girl, sort of like a revolving door. But then equally, you don't want the questions from them.
No.
So what's she like?
Yeah.
Ooh, where's she from? Ooh,
and then they're thinking that that's going to be a relationship, and you're thinking, no, this is just sex.
Yeah, this is not for me.
Yeah.
So I tried not to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
With family.
And so, like, let's go back to like childhood. So at school, what was you like with girls? Like, what was that like? What was school like for you? Like,
school for me, I remember my very first girlfriend, who technically we're still together because I don't think we actually ever fully broke up. I think it's still somewhere out there in the wind now. Was like year 4. That was like my first kind of like experience, and I remember being in class in year 4 and sitting with my friend, and we had this thing where it was only year 4, and I don't know why this was, but children came up from year 2 into year 3, from infant school to junior school, and rather than going into year 3, they went straight into year 4 and did year 4 twice. I don't know why. So we had a couple of people in our class. I think maybe 4 or 5 or 6 kids in our class.
I think it was a small year group. I think that's why they mixed them. at some point.
Our year group maybe was more, but I don't
Or
know.
the year below was
But
more.
surely that would be too big, wouldn't it? Because they've put extra kids, they've put kids
true.
up in years.
Just or lack of teachers.
Yeah, I don't really know why they did that, but yeah. So anyway, one of the girls was one of these, technically year 3, but was in our year 4 class. She came over to our table where I was sat with my friend Ricky, and she asked if one of us would go out with her. It's just any option, do you know what I mean? Does anyone want to go out with me? I'm available. And we both said no. Like, we just shrugged it off. But I thought about it and I thought, actually, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
So I made an excuse to go to the toilet, and I'd come back in. And as I walked past her toilet, I sort of leant over the pair of them and said, yes.
And that was your first relationship?
Yeah, that was my first relationship. And
what happened? Did you go anywhere after the yes? Did you talk?
yeah, so obviously we spoke. I don't know how it happened, but I do remember buying her a Valentine's Day card.
Oh.
I do remember getting her a Valentine's Day card, and I do remember. How old are you in year 4? 9 years old. So
Yeah.
this is what, 25 years ago, 26 years ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago to try and recall some of this stuff, but I remember being in school and friends cornering us and all chanting, kiss him, kiss him, kiss him. And I remember her giving me like a kiss like on the cheek, and it being the biggest thing, massive deal in school, like a really big deal. But yeah, I don't think she ever came around my house or I went around hers. I don't really know how that went. I think it's very much a school kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first like relationship. But other than that, I never really had relationships in school. I think I always fancied people.
Yeah.
I always liked people and I always chased after girls.
Like,
but
was in secondary school? We're going up to secondary school now?
yeah, junior school. Yeah, I think it's secondary school and.
I know
junior
that
school.
like we spoke about, and you've always felt like that you sort of would end up being like the one who was put in the friend zone.
Yeah, so I feel like I chased girls or was interested in girls, and they were never interested in me. Never. They was always interested in other people, never me. So I never really had any relationships at school. I did have one relationship in year 7, and that was, she was from another school, and my friends went to that school, and we've gone to like under 18s night at Estairs on Canby Island, and always at the end you have a slow dance, and I'd met up with my friends who live around the corner from me, and we'd gone down there together, and they'd obviously gone with girls from their school, and halfway through the night one of them said, will you dance with Hayley at the end? Will you dance with Hayley at the end? And
Was it Casey and Jojo?
No, it wasn't Casey and Jojo, it was Ronan Keating. What was that song, Ronan and Keating? You Say It Best, You Say Nothing to It. It was that song, yeah. So it's got a special place in my heart, that song has. But yeah, they said to me, would you dance with her at the end? And I was like, yeah, all right, fair enough, we'll do. Dance with her at the end, the lights come on, everyone then makes their way out, everyone's sort of walking out as they do, like it's all busy. My friends were in front, I was quite far back, and they come running back to me and they was like, Mike, will you go out with her? Will you go out with Hayley? I was like, well, when will I see her? And they were like, they run off, and they come back and said, she said whenever. I was like, yeah, right then, yeah, I'll go out. This was like literally like a week or so before my birthday as well. So I remember we went like to Waterside Farm on Canby, and we was like playing basketball or whatever, like as a big group of girls and guys. We was all partnered up, and then we went shopping, and we got each other Christmas presents. And I think she got me a little like football pendant necklace, like gold, like it must have cost about a tenner from like Warren James. It was really sweet, like, and I can't think what I got. I think I got her a watch. I think like even Warren James.
Yeah. Warren James was like the one, wasn't it, back then?
Yeah.
Like, you'd always go. I feel like I went to Warren James a million times.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? I think that was the place for everyone, wasn't it?
Or Argos.
Yeah, so that only lasted, I think, like 2 months. I think we got together like end of November and it was finished by end of January. Like, we just didn't see each other, it just fizzled out. But other than that, sort of secondary school, yeah, I sort of chased, I was interested in girls and they were never really interested in me, to be honest.
So why do you think like girls weren't interested? Like, what was your thoughts on that? And is it something that like affects you? Like, was it something that affected you like in your childhood? Like, everyone wants to be the person that, I don't suppose everyone wants to be fancied, don't they? So
yeah, I think I had very good looking friends, so the girls all fancied my friends. I didn't really care too much for sort of girlfriends sort of year 7, year 8, but I remember year 9, me and my friend Charlie had gone to the arcades, and we spent every day in the arcades in the summer on the seafront, and we was on the dance machine, and we met 2 girls, and they went to our school. I remember me and Charlie both fancied these girls, but they went to the same school as us, and nothing ever happened. But when we got into school, obviously our friendship groups mixed, and all of the girls just fancied all of the other guys.
yeah.
And I remember I did like one girl, but she never liked me. She never fancied me really. So I think I think that I just wasn't good looking. I wasn't fanciable. I don't think at that, when I was that young.
Yeah.
My hair was like French crop with a quiff. Do you know what I mean? I was blonde. I was pale. I was slim. Like I just wasn't good looking. I just don't think I was like what people liked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think it necessarily really. It must have bothered me a little bit because you would obviously want it, but it never bothered me. I don't think it ever bothered me massively. But I remember sort of that was at school then, wanting to get into the gym and make myself better and look better.
Yeah, so there was some ambition to change yourself and want to
be a different person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember changing my hair in year 10, going into year 10, and that was a big change, because I had the French crop, and I remember being with friends, and they were like, "No, you need to have it like spiky, like messy spiky," and they done my hair for me.
Oh really?
And we'd gone out on a Friday night, like drinking as you do, and
messy spiky hair.
Messy spiky hair. I was like a cool kid again.
Did it work?
No, I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked. I never really got much attention from girls until definitely sort of long after I left school. I think once I'd started going to the gym and started bettering myself, I then got attention from people. So it must have been like around 2008, 2000. Yeah, about 2008, because I've been going out clubbing, I've been going to the gym.
Yeah.
That must have been around the time when sort of like girls would start taking notice of me.
Yeah. So it's like you're quite like, you look after your appearance now, don't you? So
yeah, like to try to and hope so.
And like I feel like you've got better with age, definitely. So
yeah, like fine wine. I feel like I have got better with age.
Yeah,
that is debatable, I guess, and it's up to interpretation from the person who's looking at you. But yeah, I feel like I've definitely improved from where I was when I was that young.
So do you think like through like your childhood experiences with women is what made you like get into the gym and like do all that sort of thing?
Yeah, I was always aware that I was very slim, and I never wanted to be slim. I remember being at school and we used the gym for the very first time, and there was a guy in there called James, who out of the blue, out of nowhere, just had really good biceps, and was showing his biceps, and everyone was looking. Everyone was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, James, whoa!"
With those biceps.
Yeah, and I remember thinking at that point, I need biceps.
Yeah.
And I remember going home, and we had these sand-filled dumbbells, like blue plastic dumbbells that my mum had got from Argos. That was like, I think the heaviest ones were 4.5 kilos. And I bicep curled them every day in my bedroom, like for ages, and then did like shoulder workouts with them and stuff, like different, just small little exercises with these dumbbells, just to try and improve it. And then the minute I remember going to the gym when I was 15, and pretending that I was 16, because you couldn't go to the gym until you were 16. going in and then like using the gym weights and stuff, but then getting caught that I wasn't 16, I was only 15.
Did you get checked out?
Yeah, but this was like October, and my birthday was in December, so I had to wait like 2 months and I can go back to the gym. So yeah, we'd then go back to the gym, and it was that kind of just made me want to, that in my head, the better my physique was, the more of an impact I would have with girls.
Yeah.
And I feel like that definitely was true.
Yeah.
The more my physique changed, the better.
The girl you got.
Yeah, the better.
You got me.
Yeah, exactly. It was at the peak of my fitness. I met you. But yeah, I remember like going to Magaluf, like working out there, and I wasn't. I had size, but I was never in shape. And I went back the year later with my friends, and I'd been dieting and exercising and cardio and working out, and I'd gone back a year later, and I was trim, and so many more people were like, whoa, you look really good. Like it completely changed the playing ground, the playing surface for me, I think.
So I think like if you was to tell an audience that you worked out in Magaluf at the age of what age did you go?
What was when I started?
Yeah.
I started 16.
What, when you went to Magaluf?
Oh no.
What age were you when you went?
20.
20. So
yeah.
I feel like if you were to like say to people, like, I went to Magaluf to work, they would sort of stereotype that as you was going out there for like the girls, like to sleep around.
Yeah.
But like that wasn't the case for you, was it? Like you ended up in a relationship.
Yeah, it's literally straight. Very very quickly ended up in a relationship. Like I think I must have been out there for a week at that point.
And then you were straight into a
relationship, and that, she left because she was on holiday, and I stayed out there, but stayed committed, and wasn't interested, and come home, but then went back out the next year because I just was bored of that relationship, to be honest.
Yeah.
And again, I went out there, but it wasn't with the mindset to sleep around.
No.
The second time I went out there, it was just because I had such a good time and I made such good friends, and they were all going back. I was like, this could be a really good summer. I could start again, and have a really good summer. Like I could go early, because the first year I didn't go until July.
Yeah.
Which is halfway through the season.
And you feel like it was a mistake getting into that relationship, like at the.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, at the time when it was brand new, it all felt really good. So it wasn't like that. I felt it was a mistake at that point, but I certainly felt like it was a mistake coming towards like the winter, our first winter together. It was a bit like they're all going back. I wish I had been single and stayed single.
Yeah.
I do want to go back out there. Like I'm gonna go.
And like, what made you always get into relationships? Like
I feel like it was not wanting to let people down.
Yeah.
So it's you get in, you meet someone, you start talking to someone, and it's almost like you feel like you've got to go down that road. No, not at all. Not at all.
So it's more like so it's more being like that nice person that you end up
doing something because you almost feel like you have to.
Yeah, not because you want to. Yeah.
So I always felt.
And you feel like that was a lot of most of your relationships, like beforehand, like ones that you were.
Yeah, because it was hard to get out of. Like one relationship that. I just thought that. Oh, it will grow. I'll just grow to love this person. I liked her as a person, but I didn't love her. I wasn't head over heels like in lust with her. I made excuses to not do it.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to be around her much. But
let's go back to so was that your first ever? Was she your first ever relationship?
No.
You had one before, didn't you?
Yeah, I had two before that. Actually.
Yeah. So let's go to the start of your relationships, because I think it's quite important to let's go through the basis of how we got to me and.
Okay.
So you first met your first long. So let's talk about your long. It's a actual relationship.
Okay, so.
Not your year 4 girlfriend.
Not the year 4 girlfriend, no. First relationship was when I left school.
Yeah.
Literally straight away after leaving school. I think I must have left school a couple of months and met someone. And was with her for about, again, probably about 2-3 months. Not very long. It wasn't very long. But she was younger than me, and so I was 16, she was 15, and yeah, it just wasn't right. She was really shy and timid, and just so that just ended.
Yeah.
But then I met someone else, probably about 3, 4, no, yeah, maybe about 3 or 4 months after that. But again, very short, 2-3 months relationship, absolutely nothing really. Then I met someone else, and this was a much longer relationship. This was a long distance relationship as well, and I was just about to pass my test, and I passed my test so I could drive to see her, and that relationship wasn't a very good one at all. Like,
in the fact of that she wasn't a very nice person.
Yeah, she wasn't a very nice person. She was very much cheating, sleeping around, living a single life.
Yeah.
And just having me to take her places and take her around. And she lived in Surrey, and I would drive on Friday after work, no, on Saturday after work to Surrey from Southend to pick her up. I'd wait at her house while she got ready for a night out Saturday. I would then take her back to Southend, all before going home. I hadn't even been home at this point. Take her to Southend, pick her friend up in Southend, take them to Talk Nightclub.
Yeah, without you being there.
Without me being there. I wasn't allowed to go.
Yeah.
And
why did you? What made you put up with that? Like, what made you?
I don't know.
Want that? Like, did you feel like she was the best thing you'd had?
Yeah, I did.
Like
I thought she was the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of just stayed.
So I was hanging on to that because.
But I thought that I wouldn't get any better and things like that, and I even had like the ex before her. So at that time, my ex messaged me saying, "Oh, you can do better. You know, I would treat you better." And I just was so involved in this new relationship. I was like, no, like, I'm not gonna.
And how did you meet her?
Online. It was a bit like Facebook, but it wasn't a Facebook. It was like a social media site like that, like a profile site. I think it's called Look It's Me, actually.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember?
No, I never done that.
Never looked at that. Never remember that.
No.
It's a site called Look It's Me, and it's a bit of a profile site. It was very basic, but it was a bit like Face Party and Bebo and like Mingleville, things like that. There was all these little sites at the time.
And like, how was it like when you first met her? Like, did you nervous? Obviously, like, online dating wasn't really as much the thing. It was a bit more. I would say it was a bit more like dangerous back then. I feel like it wasn't really something that people would do. Would meet people online.
No. Yeah, we spoke for a while, and then it turns out she was coming to Basildon for her birthday because she really liked this macaroni. What was that place?
Oh yeah, Macaroni Grill.
Macaroni Grill.
Yeah.
She really liked that place. She wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So me and my friend went out in Basildon. It gave me a chance to meet her, and I met
Yeah.
her, and then we exchanged numbers, and then just was texting, and then asked her out, and she said yeah. So then we just, and then I think about a couple of weeks after I said yes to going out, that I passed my driving test and then could drive up to see her. So that kind of cemented the relationship. And I remember crashing my car 2 months after we got together, and she dumped me.
She dumped you because you, oh my gosh.
Another car. She dumped me. Yeah, she just dumped me. I even made effort to try and get the train up to go and see her and stuff, which is a long way. Like, it was a real effort to get there. And she dumped me. And I remember being distraught, like, really upset, like thinking, oh.
Do you feel like that she was your first heartbreak?
Yeah,
Wait,
I
hurt?
think she was, yeah. And where am I going with this? Yeah, so ended up getting the car back. Obviously, my car was wrote off, and the insurance paid out, and I bought another car. And then suddenly wants to be my girlfriend again.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic. But as I said, she was very much living that kind of single life. There was lots of red flags, lots of things that were issues that she would get. I remember being around her house. She got a text message on her phone, and I'm sat next to her, and it was one of these Samsung swipe up phones, and she swiped up to read it, and it starts the text message would read across the phone, so word for word would then come up. The number was unknown. It was say unknown. The number was there, but it wasn't a saved number in her phone. So it didn't come up as Sarah or John, whatever. These really old names, isn't it? It just come up as like plus 44789.
Yeah.
Hiya, like it was like hiya. So great to meet you last night. Thanks for and bang, she shuts the phone down.
Yeah.
It was very much like an introductory text, like oh, so great to see you last night. You look really good. Blah blah blah. Bang, shut the phone down straight away. I'm like, who's that? She's like, oh, it's no one. And I was like, no, who is it? And she would not let me see. So, and she got up into the went up into the bathroom, stopped me seeing the phone, and deleted the message. Read it and deleted it. And I was like, who was that? Why have you done that? And she told me it was her friend, I think she say Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just
it was hiding it if it was Amy.
Yeah. And she wouldn't have deleted it.
Yeah.
But she did, and it was Amy apparently. And then was like turning it on me, like crying, saying, you know what I mean, all of these like tactics to then make me just forget about it and say, oh, okay, fair enough, and just ignore it. But then
was that's why you stayed, because she was quite manipulative at
I think so, yeah. But I think I just, as I said, I didn't think I could do any better than her, and I was
think
really sure.
It's also quite in a way, like a man in an abusive relationship.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I guess it's emotionally abusive.
It is,
I wouldn't say it's like fully abusive, and like.
But I think that, don't you think that men don't want to be in that, have that stigma around them, like now you can't accept that wasn't
It sounds
right.
silly. It sounds silly to say.
Yeah,
it's so young and
but it wasn't right, and it's
it wasn't.
Still something that you'll never probably forget. Like, and there's still probably reasons behind you that stay, like, you know, embedded in you, because.
But yeah, so I think all of those things do, like, when you then start a new relationship, they are kind of concerns that you think, oh, are they going to do this? Are they going to do this? Oh, I've seen this before. Are they going to copy and do this as well?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think when things like that started happening, it did kind of like chip away at you a little bit and think, oh, this isn't right, this isn't good. And I remember, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was, it came towards a year of us being together, but again, she'd gone out and with her friend, and her friend had uploaded pictures onto MySpace. And I remember seeing those pictures for the very first time, and she was just like surrounded with guys, pictures with guys, you know, just left, right, and centre. She's some sort of celeb, like. And I just thought, you know, and then there was a picture of her kissing someone, and it was like, right, okay, done, like, and that was it.
So you saw pure evidence. It was like, no.
Yeah, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I just was like, yeah.
And how did she act towards that when you dumped her?
I can't remember how she acted, to be honest. I think it was very much just. I don't think she was begging me back.
No,
I don't
she just
think
sort of
she was. Yeah, I don't remember her like trying or just. I remember having to go round and pick my stuff up from hers, and her mum answered the door and gave me my stuff. And was just being very like, as if I was a problem.
Oh really? Like she made you out to be the problem?
Yeah, and
but she probably didn't tell her parents the truth.
No, and I remember
whatever they heard is completely probably different to the actual story.
I think her mum had said something like, "Don't contact her again," or something like, you know, something really like abrupt.
Bizarre, yeah.
Yeah, and like, you dare contact her again and stuff like that. I just said there's two sides to every story, and just took my stuff and left. Never heard from her again after that, to be honest. Saying that, I did hear from her again actually. She popped up about 2 or 3 years later, and was then like talking.
Oh really?
Talking to me, and I was single, so I was talking back and messaging her back and stuff. And I remember just talking to her, and we were just talking, nothing more than that. I think we'd been talking for a couple of days, nothing more, just catch up, whatever. And I rung her once, and she answered, and she, on the phone, acted as if she had no clue why I was ringing. She was like, "Why are you ringing me?" Like, just completely shocked. She was with a new boyfriend. And he'd messaged me afterwards. And I just messaged him and said, look, just to put you in the picture, we've been talking for a couple of days, albeit. I don't want anything from this. I'm not trying to get anything.
But she got in contact with you.
Yeah. She started the contact, not me.
Yeah.
And it was just in that kind of, I thought I would ring her. This is after she'd initiated the contact in the first place. And she, started her own tricks. I couldn't believe it. I just thought, absolutely no chance. I can't believe you've done that.
Some tricks now.
Well, probably. You've no idea, but I just.
Do people change though?
I couldn't. Well, it's hard, isn't it? But couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the cheek of it. I just thought, like, can't believe you've done that. Like, you're now doing it to someone else.
Yeah.
So that was a strange one.
I think like, I feel like obviously with our job, you get stereotyped quite a lot for being, I don't know, like I feel like people think that I'm not the person that you are, so people will say like, oh, that you make me have a threesome, or like you want, like it's you that's instigating it, blah blah, but you're not that guy. And it's like, it's hard to put that across to people, that you're not that guy. But yeah, you've never been one to sleep around, and like I feel like your niceness and the way that you are and the way you've been brought up with your family and stuff makes you that person that you are today. And yeah, like you can see with every relationship, like you've only wanted the best, but you've never been treated the best.
My view, and you do treat me insanely good. Like I can't fault this relationship in any way, shape or form. But I think in my head, I always imagined that I wanted a relationship that was, I guess I always imagined the relationship to be 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
And how you would be. That's what I just imagined. I always thought about like having a relationship that was 5 years down the line, and you're just comfortable with each other, and you're in love with each other, and you just trust each other, and that was always my aim, to get to that point.
Yeah.
So I always always had love to give, and I loved the honeymoon stage, and I love all that love, and the cuddling and the kissing and the lust, and all of that. The text messages, the kisses and the emojis. I loved all of that, but I never wanted. I never wanted to have. I wasn't big on public display of affection.
Oh really?
I wouldn't want to be all over someone in public.
No. Snogging
their face off in the middle of a high street.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what I mean? I was always slightly embarrassed by that when I was younger. So
I think when you're younger, it is a bit embarrassing. Isn't it, to be like
so
that.
I always imagined if we were out in public, it was like that 5-year mark where you're comfortable, you're walking holding hands, and you get on, and you're in love, and people know you're in love, and whatever. So yeah, that was what I was always trying to achieve. I think from a relationship was that.
Yeah. You finally achieved it.
I did. We're 10 years now, and
I also think like it's nice to have them stories about other relationships, because it cements our relationship. And I think if you hadn't had them experiences with other relationships, then we wouldn't have the relationship that we have.
No.
Which like I love the fact, and I think it's important for people to talk to their partners about all them relationships that they've had previously, and because it does show. You can take it like experiences from that and know why they're the person they are like today, and if they have any insecurities, then it, you know, shows them as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was my second to last relationship. Yeah, my second to last like proper relationship. No, then I met someone else, and this is the person I met that I thought that I could just grow to love, because I had this person who was just completely head over heels with.
Yeah.
But was not right for me in any way, shape or form. And so then I tried something else, and I met this person on MySpace. And,
so was your idea that you'd had like a bad experience and you thought, I'm just going to go for someone like that I wouldn't really fancy, that I'm not like mega...
Well, so I did quite fancy her from the pictures anyway, but then when I met her, it was a bit... It wasn't catfish. I don't want to say catfish because she wasn't massive different, but
you didn't have face tune and all that.
No, but the pictures did look different to what
angle was.
Yeah, so it did look slightly different, but there was something I liked about this person, and I thought I'd give it a go, and I just thought that maybe I'll grow to love this person. Maybe that's how you do it. Maybe that's how relationships start. You always hear of, oh, they pestered me for so long, and I eventually said yes, and then they're together 20 years later. So I thought this might be that. Yeah. But it just never was. It never came, and I never was interested in being around this person. So it didn't. It lasted probably about 8 months, but after that it just stopped. So that was like an experience, but I think I was probably more of the problem, because I just wasn't. She was ready to give me everything. Yeah. And I just wasn't. I just didn't want that, and I guess I kind of hurt her a bit. I think because she was massively in love with me. Yeah. Like I was her first boyfriend. Yeah. Whereas, now she's a lesbian. Yeah. She's of Turner. I've Turner. I've sent her.
Given her such a bad experience.
Given her such a bad experience that Turner. But
I'm going my way.
Yeah, I was slowly turning you. So then after her was the person I met when I worked abroad. And that was okay, but again it was long distance. It was effort to see this person. I saw this person every other weekend, and there were problems in that. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't plain sailing. She was at university. I was hearing lots of things that was going on. Yeah.
I guess
I saw things.
She wasn't really in the right mindset to have a relationship. Uni,
no,
if
really
anyone was
not,
gonna, I just don't feel like. Well, I suppose like Fraser, has a lovely relationship, but maybe it's just not right to have a long distance relationship at uni. If you're gonna, you're better off living with that person and then being at uni with you.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Not that there's any excuses to treat someone horribly, because she didn't have to be with you, but...
No, and I don't think she ever really treated me horribly. I think it was just she's at uni, she's getting smashed. Yeah. Things happen. Young. Yes, she's young, things happen, I'm not there, I'm 200 miles away. Yeah,
you met on holiday.
Yeah.
So, you had that honeymoon period, and was that ever going to go into the real world? Probably not.
No, so...
There's a lot to say about holiday romance, isn't there? And
it almost seemed like, I guess, at times you're kind of just trying to make it work, because...
Yeah, because you're like so good on holiday, and it was like... I don't know, I've never had a holiday romance actually, but I can imagine it being very good.
It's a bit like...
It's like a whirlwind.
It is. Because love. There's an end, you try and cram everything in that short space of time, so that you get swept up in it. Yeah. It becomes some sort of mini film. Do you know what I mean? Some mini love film.
Yeah. And then when you step back into reality, you've got to now travel to Wales.
Yeah.
To go and, was she Wales?
Yeah, it was Cardiff.
Cardiff. To go and see her.
From Canby, it was 205 miles in a car that was a sports car that wasn't very good on petrol. Even
I think we all know it's hard to dump someone, isn't it? Like no one really wants to hurt.
Yeah, I was never very good at that as well, because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, I was never good at dumping either.
As much as I wanted to do it, even with the one before that, the person I liked,
it takes a lot
I found that very hard.
Yeah.
And so with this final relationship before you, I found it was I didn't really know how to do it, and I obviously booked tickets to go back to Magaluf, and I hadn't told for a long time. And even I found it hard to tell her then when I did tell her, and it was very bad, and I was just like, it's what I want to do.
Lack of communication.
Yeah.
Both, probably.
Oh God, obviously.
Yeah.
Completely. But yeah, so that, and I remember sort of finishing that, and I remember coming back because she came out to Magaluf to see me while I was working out there, and I was just a different person. We never went out, never did anything, and
maybe you did do something.
huh? What do you mean?
When you met didn't you meet that girl? Did you?
Oh yeah. Before she came out there,
Yeah.
I did kiss someone else.
Yeah. So the guilt was probably in you.
Yeah, the guilt was in me, but yeah, so she came out there. We didn't go out, but I never really went. But even then, when she got out there, she got a job, and obviously there was. I had loads of stories of her being at uni and being with her ex, or do you know what I mean, or staying around her exes, or just at parties with other guys, and pictures of appearing on Facebook of her sat on guys' laps and cuddling other guys, and it'd been like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
I remember ringing her one time, and she's like, I'm with a guy, can you leave me alone? It was like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
wow.
I'm at home and she's in Wales. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
like,
it's the last thing you want to hear, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. I'm trying to ring her, she's not answering. It's just horrible.
Heartbreaking.
It's horrible. And yeah, so we never really like did anything when she came to Bangkok. But then before she came out, I was going out all the time with my mates. She got out there, nothing. And then she had to go home because she had to resit an exam. So I was like, I'm going to stay out here.
Yeah.
Started going back out again, and my friends were like, you're such a different person when you're not with her. I'm thinking, yeah, I don't really want a relationship. I don't want it. And then when I got back, I think about a month after she'd left, I got back and I didn't rush to see her.
Yeah.
I didn't rush to get in contact with her. I didn't rush to see her, and eventually, and I think she came round and just wasn't interested. I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
And then just dumped, and it ended very like abruptly, and yeah, never spoke to her again.
Yeah.
And then a year later, I'm in love with you.
Yeah. You never saw me coming.
Never saw you coming, swept me off my feet. And then yeah, here we are today, like 10 years later. Like
crazy.
In my opinion, just everything and more that I've ever wanted in a relationship. Like it shows you why
all of my relationships didn't work.
Yeah, and obviously grateful they didn't work because
we wouldn't be here.
I would not be here today. And I
think that's the one thing I always say. Like, I think that when anyone has any kind of like relationship troubles or it's not going right for them, it's like there's always something better out there for someone.
Yeah.
And I think that it's hard to say to that person at the time, because obviously we're both in that situation where we've had heartbreak, and we never imagined what was coming next for us.
No.
And it was like us being together, and like I would take any of them. I'd have to take all them heartbreaks again to meet you.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't change how my life was.
Yeah.
I would just do it exactly how it is because I know that I'd be with you.
Yeah.
And I've said this before to people and yourself, but I remember being with the one in the middle who got back in contact with me, but then was seeing someone and, like pretending that she wasn't talking to me. I remember being really upset on the phone to my friend saying that she's dumped me or she's left me, and that being really upset, thinking that I'm never going to get any better. But I remember it was like a light switch moment. It was like I thought that eventually I'm going to marry someone.
Yeah. And
that person I'm going to marry, I'm going to ask to marry.
Yeah.
So obviously, whoever I choose to marry is going to be the best thing that's ever happened. Because I'm going to choose to marry them. I won't choose to marry just anybody.
No.
And it was at that point that I sort of thought to myself, well, why am I worried about this right now and upset about this right now? Because if it's not this person, someone else is going to come along. And it was that really changed my mindset of relationships at that point. I stopped thinking that.
So she was, I would say, that out of all your relationships, she was probably your biggest lesson learned.
Yeah. Because I remember thinking that.
So
because I remember feeling like I'm never going to do better than her.
Yeah. And that was her doing, not your doing. That was the way she treated you.
But I remember feeling like that with the previous relationships. When they finished, feeling like I'm never going to do better than them.
Yeah.
And I met her, who I thought was better than them.
And funnily enough, like, I feel like maybe like hence the middle like we'll cut that off. But like me and give her a name. Barbara.
Barbara.
No, let's give her a better name. Say Chloe. So the second one after me. Yeah, like you got better. It got better, didn't it?
Yeah, the relationships got better.
Yeah, no, they got better looking.
That
one that broke your heart. She's got. It's been better after that.
Oh yeah, they've it's very superficial and materialistic to say, but yeah, they all. I guess if I were to grade them, looks,
when you thought that she was like the one that you was, oh my god, I'm never gonna get better than.
Yeah.
So when there's people out there thinking, I'm never going to get better than that person that I am with today who is making me feel miserable. Like there will be better. There is better out there.
There's also a lot to be said for personality and how they make you feel and how they treat you.
Yeah, like someone can be so ugly.
You need all of that as well, but it is the looks that attract you to someone in the first place.
Yeah.
It would always have been looks that drew me to the person in the first place.
Yeah.
It always would have been.
And I think there's a lot of people say that that's not the case because I think that initially we go for looks.
Well, it's social media, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's profiles.
Like look how many people.
The minute you see a new profile of a girl, you're looking at a picture, you're reading a name, and you're reading whatever they write about themselves.
Yeah.
But you're looking at the pictures. The first thing you do is go for the pictures. Do I like the look of this person?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's quite a shame,
Great.
really, because
We'll
I feel like obviously we've never had to go through it, but online dating. Well, you did when you were younger.
Yeah.
But the aspects of online dating now, which is pretty much everyone does online dating if you're single. You're literally looking at a picture.
Yeah.
And you are going on.
A sentence.
Do I like the look
sentences.
of this person or do I not? And sad.
Yeah, so hard.
Yeah.
It must be so hard, like now to date
in
this current climate.
Because
especially through lockdown, that must have been well difficult.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I love the fact that we met and.
At the gym, and it was like in person. And
I can see everything about you. I can see your walk, I can see your smile.
Yeah.
The way that you were with people, all them things make for a person. So I think like if there's anyone out there listening to this podcast, like don't dismiss on that on first appearance. So I feel like everyone should have a chance.
Yeah, definitely. So what about I've spoken about me and I could carry on speaking about me all day. I feel like I'm a waffle.
I feel like we've not even gone into depth about like your life. Like still, there's so much more, but obviously we've got so much more to keep on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
But, that's relationships we spoke about pretty much.
So let's talk about you and Jess and your relationship past. Tell me about your life and how your dating life started.
Okay, so I feel like I had like a bit of a weird. So when I was at school, I had like the boyfriends. Like I suppose like a few boys fancied me. Like I was sort of saying the popular primary school group, and it would be like everyone wanted a boyfriend. So I was in this group where I pretty much got matched with a boy called Luke, and we were just boyfriend and girlfriend from probably year 4 upwards. Like,
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, like it was just always me and Luke.
So was Luke your first ever relationship?
Yeah, as in like it was really stupid. Like it was just primary school stuff, but it seemed like everyone in the group had like someone.
Yeah.
And maybe I took a flip between the two, like someone else. But I remember going out with someone else in that group called Sam. And I had a fringe cut in and he dumped me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, because of the fringe?
Fringe is still freaking me out now.
Oh really? You had a fringe with me?
I had a fringe when I met you, yeah.
Oh, did you?
But it still makes me feel uncomfortable. Like from back then, like literally I remember it to this day, I had no fringe and then I went to the school fete and there I was rocking my new fringe, got dumped.
At the fete?
At the fete.
No way.
With my fringe, thinking, fucking fringe. Like, and I always thought, oh, maybe fringes really don't suit me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, it was, I never really had anything significant when I was at primary school, I suppose. It was very much.
I don't think you ever really do you?
No.
Like,
I'll always remember Luke, and like, it was quite sad really, because we went into secondary school and obviously all of my primary school went to the same secondary school.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just ended up smoking weed, and like I still had.
Oh really?
I still cared about him because he was very much part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And yeah, it made me sad that he was like that.
Sort of went down that road.
Yeah, and I'd always just look at him and think, like, you're better than this. And I'd always say to him, like, you're better than this. And I always had like that sort of like relationship with him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was your relationship like with him? So how long were you, I guess, an item?
Oh, it was just, I don't know if he'd even say that we was, or he remembers like being with me.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like it was just sort of like.
So how long would you say that you were together, in your mind, for?
Like probably from year 4 to year 6.
Okay, so 2 school years.
Yeah.
Did he go to your secondary school?
I guess that we were just like close friends.
Yeah.
We'd play out together. We'd go knock, like as the group. We'd like knock for him, and
Yeah.
yeah. And I knew his mum, and weirdly I re-met his mum when I was older.
Yeah.
She went out with my ex's. She went out with Darren.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And that was his. Who was that? Who was Darren to him?
Darren was the one that went to prison.
No, but who was Darren to Luke?
Well, not stepdad, but his mum went out with Darren. Luke's mum went out with Darren.
Oh, okay. So it could have been a period of time stepfather kind of figure.
Yeah, I know that he'd never in a million years say that he's a stepfather, but
yeah,
yeah,
but could have been.
Yeah. So very strange that I re-met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird, and I'd obviously still back then. I'd still ask about Luke, and I'd make sure that he was alright.
So when did he? I guess. So did he go to the same secondary school as you?
Yeah, same secondary school, and then obviously when we left secondary.
So what was your relationship like from say year 7 to year 11?
What with Luke?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing really. Just like was in the same classes, and I'd just sort of like see him smoking weed, and I'd be like just annoyed with him.
Oh really? How did it make you feel then?
Just sad for him, really.
Yeah.
I just saw him sort of like not succeeding.
Right.
And I just felt like he was better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like he got himself in like the naughty group, and it just, yeah, I don't know, he'd come into lesson literally so monged. Like,
oh, really?
so monged. You know, I just think, no, you're not that boy.
Yeah.
Like, stop being that. And I think that's just deep down in me, because I think I'm a bit of I feel sorry for people quite easily, so it was more just, yeah, me. But no, I never went out with him at school, like.
No, secondary school.
I never fancied him or anything.
No.
Yeah,
so, what about through secondary school then? What was like dating life?
So when I got to secondary school, so that was when, so obviously year 6, so a lot of things changed in year 6 when my dad died.
Right.
So
was it year 6 that your dad died?
Yeah. Well, going into year 6, so the school holidays from year 5 to year 6,
yeah.
A lot of things changed like within me, and I don't know what it was, but maybe trust with men.
Right.
Maybe because I lost someone.
Yeah.
Like, or expectations, like, I don't even know. It's really hard to explain. I don't know if it was anxiety, whether it was... there was no help, so I never spoke to anyone about it either, so I couldn't really tell you where, like, it came from. But, yeah, so I went to secondary school, and I just did not want to be in the popular group. I just sort of, like, wanted to hide.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, like, step back from that, and I just wanted to let them go, and I wanted to make new friends, and so I've gone into secondary school, and again, like straight away, I'm paired up with someone who's the same height as me. It was like you just got paired up with people.
In a dating
way, yeah. So this boy, John Newman,
right?
I sort of got paired up with him, and he just made me feel sick. Like literally, I'm not joking. Sorry, John, right now. Oh, sorry, John. But we have spoken since because I so used to see him at home at all.
Oh, really?
Again,
okay.
He's still a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I still talk to him. But, and it wasn't even him, it was me. It was like my anxiety. And I remember just like having a panic attack.
Yeah.
About relationships. And I don't know if it was pressure or anything like that. And I remember thinking, oh, this makes me feel sick. Like, it's completely sick. So, from that point, probably until year 9, was not interested in boys at all.
Yeah.
Even questioned that I was gay.
Oh, really?
At that point, yeah.
So I guess that was kind of the first sort of moment you maybe thought that you were...
Yeah, that I just was like, they gave me the ick. Like, I literally was like, I thought there was just something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But then I think my anxiety, like if I look back at it now, I think my anxiety was with a lot of things. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to wear certain clothes. I didn't want to. I was worried about being. I don't even know. Vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's really hard to explain, and I don't know if anyone else has been through exactly the same thing. But yeah, like I just maybe scared of life, and maybe that's because my dad died. That I just was scared of something.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, and
like your parent dying. Like, I can't imagine. I can't even begin to imagine sort of what that must have been.
And
like
I think
at
back
such
then,
a young age as well. I think like. Yeah, something that no child should ever have to go through.
Yeah.
It will change how you perceive life.
Yeah, you just don't. You don't understand your emotions.
No.
So like, how can a 10-year-old know about their emotions when no one's even talking about them? Like back then, it was very. Like back then, like no one else's parent had really died of cancer, like or had died. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just not heard of. Like, I feel like cancer spoke about so much more these days than it was back then, and I even feel that the way that people thought, instead of talking, they'd rather hide it.
Yeah.
And it would never get brought up. So I think I never really grieved or spoke about it. No one ever spoke. So my feelings were just for me to deal with.
Yeah.
So I did get over it. Like I did get over it. Got over it in year 9. And
so it took you that lot, I guess.
Yeah, I would say a good couple of years to really get over. Yeah, to get over. Well, not get over it, but get over my feelings, maybe anxiety. But it was more I suppose I probably pushed myself out of it because my friends wanted to do stuff, go out, and I didn't want to miss out.
So I guess having your friends that wanted to do things kind of almost helped take your mind away from it.
Yeah, and I suppose just getting older, I suppose takes your mind off it, but there's more to do, isn't there?
Yeah.
But so I remember this time at school when I had. I don't know if you remember the phase, but the phase was to dye your hair half and half. Any girls out there remember? So the blonde girls would have the blonde on top and the black underneath.
I feel like I kind of remember that, but I don't know if any girls I knew did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot. It was very in. So obviously my hair being brown, I couldn't really do anything. So what I done was like I dyed the underneath purple.
Yeah.
So it was like a dark purple, and I'd gone into school and.
Nice dark purple.
Yeah, wasn't the greatest look.
No.
I had bad teeth as well when I was younger. I don't think that really helped as well because I knew that like going into secondary school, I was these ugly teeth that were like gnashes. So I sort of like hid myself that way because I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Of going into school like that. Like when you're in primary school, they just grow up with you, so they just know what you look like. But when you're going to secondary school, you're then being pinpointed like, okay, you've got bad teeth.
Yeah.
So I sort of just like hid away at secondary school, and then I got like obviously braces. So I had my hair, and I remember this boy walking into class going, "Oh my god, are you a goth?" And I'm thinking, nah, this ain't a good look.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I need to change.
Yeah.
And it was that moment, and it still sticks in my head, that I was like, okay, I must be really pale.
Yeah.
Because you're now calling me a goth and I've got dark hair. So, right, what am I going to do? So, fake tan was not a massive thing back then either. But I started trying to use fake tan. That didn't really work. And then sunbeds. My cousin started using sunbeds and she started looking really brown.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I need to do the sunbed thing. There was no age limit then.
Was there not?
No age limit.
How old was you at this point?
So this was going into year 9, so what age was that, 14?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, 14. I was like anorexic. I went like heavy on the sunbeds, like to the point that people thought that I was Spanish.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was heavily invested in.
I was for a stage
heavily invested in sunbeds, and I was heavily invested in literally going to sleep at night, wishing and praying that I was good looking.
Oh really?
Yeah, got to a point where I was like, gone from like nothing and not even interested in boys to like, I really need boys to fancy me right now.
Yeah. Overnight.
Right, I need to sort myself out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. again, I don't know where that came from either. I don't know where. Maybe it was want of being wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like it was some kind of like why do people want to be fancied?
So, well,
Does it make you feel good?
everyone wants companion, don't they? They want love
Yeah.
because love does make you feel a certain type of way. I think a lot
Yeah.
of things will stem from being loved or being unloved.
Yeah.
You know. But I guess so. With your dad dying when you were 10, what was your views, or what scoped your views on relationships? What did you think of relationships when you were, I guess, between year 7 and year 9, and then from year 9 to year 11? What was your viewpoints on relationships? Or how did you perceive them?
I feel like I didn't really have a clue about relationships.
Yeah.
I always remember my dad being a good man, but I don't know. I don't think I even wanted a relationship. I just wanted to be fancied. I wasn't even that bothered about like actually having someone.
But what did you think a relationship was? Or what did you think a relationship was? Who did you see that had relationships, and what was it that they had that you potentially may have wanted for yourself?
I don't know. I feel like it was probably more about like doing stuff with someone.
Yeah.
Like the sex, the fingering, the wanking off.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just all I spoke about at school, and I felt like, okay, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be left out. I don't want to be the last one doing this. Like, I need a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because, like, where else are you meant to do this stuff?
Yeah.
And it was like the girls in the relationships were the ones doing it.
Yeah.
And I weren't.
Yeah.
But I didn't really want the commitment of a boyfriend, but I needed to get going and, you know, do the first stages of whatever you need to do. Otherwise, I remember I didn't even kiss a boy until I was in year 9.
Yeah.
And that was like, I felt it was late.
Yeah. Well, I think
like a snog.
Yeah, my first snog was like year 7.
Oh really?
So I got a head start on you there. Yeah. Yeah, first snog was year 7. I remember that. And that it was an awful.
So I feel like I sort of,
from my part.
I feel like I just maybe just went with people that just wanted me.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really fussy. Like I was fussy, but I wasn't really. If
they were showing you attention.
Yeah, I was like down for it. Yeah. So that I don't think that really helped me like either, and then I think I was like, it wasn't even really about. Yeah, I don't even really know what I wanted. I suppose.
Yeah.
So I just didn't want to be left out.
You just didn't want to be the last man standing.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be left on the shelf.
Yeah, I wanted to tell them stories that everyone else was telling at school.
Yeah, and be somewhat included.
Yeah, but I don't think I even really done stuff until year 10.
Yeah.
Like obviously I'd only done kissing when I was year 9.
Yeah.
So year 10 and 11, like it took me a while to
get going.
Yeah, I wasn't really the person to. I think a lot of people would probably have said that made like that. I think because I'd gone from ugly to better, like looking, I got a little bit of hate for that at school.
Right.
And that didn't really go down very well either, like at school. But then I think I like sort of kissed a lot of boys and wasn't really in a relationship, but like was sort of like flirty, and I don't think that didn't go down either very well. But I actually never was in relationships or breaking people's hearts or doing anything like that. I was just being like free.
So when did your first relationship come, and how did that come about?
So I had like a little sort of like little thing at school, but I wouldn't really say it was a relationship.
No.
No, so I'm not going to count him.
Okay.
God, so Ryan. But
he's probably counting it.
he's counting it. So my first relationship was with Timmy. So I met here, and again, again, like, I feel like this is really sad to say, but I was desperate.
Right.
I was desperate for a relationship. I was
Yeah.
desperate to be loved.
Yeah.
At that point, I think I sort of got to that point where I was just just someone please love me.
Yeah.
Someone must love me.
Yeah.
And I met him. So I'd gone to my cousin's house for Christmas,
Yeah.
and she was with Ryan,
Right.
and Timmy was Ryan's friend,
Okay.
and I must have been 17,
Yeah.
turning 17 maybe, and oh,
No.
you're young.
No.
Boxing Day we'd all go around my aunt's house and everyone would come around, like
Yeah.
my cousin's boyfriend, anyone, and Ryan was like, "Oh, can I bring Timmy? He's not doing anything."
Yeah.
So okay, well, friend Timmy came, and he was just funny. Like, he was just funny, and that wasn't my type at all.
What would you have said your type was?
Well, that point.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really had a type. Like, of someone I would say, "Oh, that's my type."
Yeah.
I don't think in life I've ever really put myself in like boxes of like, oh yeah, I fancy this person, and
Yeah.
they've got to look like this.
This is my type, so every person that matches
Yeah,
that I fancy.
yeah, it never really happened like that. Like, just whoever, never, and no one ever sort of like fitted this stereotype.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really say what I particularly fancied.
So yeah, Timmy came round.
Timmy came round, and then like my cousin after was like, "Oh, Timmy really likes you, wants to take you on a date."
Yeah.
I'm thinking, "Oh, he's got a car. He's older than me."
Yeah. How old was he then?
He was like 4 years older than me.
So he would have been about 20.
Yeah.
If you were 16.
Yeah.
He was 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big age gap for me,
Yeah,
I think.
big,
At
yeah.
16 as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, that's cool. Like, I found that, and I don't know if it's like, maybe it was the fact that, because I never had a father figure, it was like, oh, he's older, he can look after me. It had all them aspects of, I don't know, safety.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it worked for me back then. And
So so he said he wanted to take you out. When did that then become a thing? When did you? Can you not?
No. No, I think he took me to an Italian for our first date.
Yeah.
Because we used to always go to the same Italian because his friend was a chef there and ran the Italian.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was our first date.
Oh really?
Yeah. And the relationship was like lovely at the beginning when I was like young and didn't really do much, but then it sort of got to a point where I turned like 18 and I just wanted to live my life again.
Yeah.
Sort of like a filling gap for.
So how did that end?
So I dumped him, but this was the story I was telling the other day. So me and Kim had gone to circuit class.
Yeah.
And I think I wasn't happy anyway, and I was like saying, "Oh, no, I'm not really that happy with him." And she was like, "Come on, let's be single together. Like, let's be single." And I was thinking, "Oh, that sounds like a good idea."
Yeah.
I don't really remember going home and like calling him round and like dumping him.
So you did it face to face?
Oh yeah.
See, I found it very hard to do dumping face to face.
Oh really?
I always wanted to because I felt like that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I think I always ended up like doing the dumping via text.
Yeah.
I think that was always my get out.
I think the good thing at that point was that my mum had just dumped her boyfriend and my sister had dumped hers.
Right.
So I was like, it was like a running streak through the family. It's like my mum's dumped him, my sister's dumped him all face to face, so I can't just be the one to dump him by text.
Yeah.
So I just like break my mum was always like, you need to be that person to brave it and just dump him. Like, you need to give him some respect.
Yeah.
Obviously I've been with him for like 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time. So
Is a long time. Saying that, I've been with mine for like a year or nearly a year, and Still did it by text.
Yeah.
A very cowardly way out, I will
Yeah.
admit, but I couldn't bring myself to do it face to face. I couldn't deal with the. It didn't. When does it like? How does that go? Like you're there with them, right? The reason for saying this, you dumped.
Yeah.
Let yourself out. I'll see you later. Yeah. But how does that conversation end?
Yeah.
Because you're dumped. They don't just go, okay, right.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet
or
you.
he cried as well, so that made it worse. So I had to then feel like the guilt of that.
Yeah.
But I definitely think I was a bit more selfish back then, so I didn't like as much as I did feel guilty. I was like, well, I want to go clubbing.
Yeah.
Like so.
Thought about
And I
the
literally
gain
remember-
that you got from it.
I remember dumping here, and I remember getting in my car. This is really bad. I remember getting in my car, putting music on, and I was probably going out that night to talk or something like that. No, and I was single, and I'm driving down the road, and I'm feeling free.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like the wind is in my hair. I'm free. I'm having a good time tonight, and it's like we were saying, it's that excitement, isn't it, of meeting someone new when you're out clubbing and stuff.
On the circuit, going out clubbing.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
it's
good
the
times.
weirdest thing is the fact that we were at the same clubs.
Yeah.
Probably
we were.
every weekend, and we never met.
And we were serial going out, weren't we?
Serial. We knew.
I know I was. Anyway,
we knew the same people.
Yeah.
And we just never met.
Our paths never crossed until I worked at the gym.
Yeah, which is, I think, insane. I feel like, obviously, that path, we weren't meant to cross at that point.
No, exactly. I think you can say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You got to live by that.
Yeah.
You got to live by that. I think, because otherwise you'll just dwell on what's happened, or dwell on the past, or think too much about the future. You've got to just live in the moment and still keep one eye on the future, but very much 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah, definitely.
Here and now.
So so then I was single for 6 months.
After Timmy.
Okay, so no, I got back with Timmy. So
Oh, okay,
I was
right.
single for 6 months.
Oh, so 6 months?
Yeah.
Wow, and then you got back together after 6 months?
6 months. I was like serial dating everyone.
Yeah.
No one was really fitting the bill.
Yeah.
Like Timmy treated me nicely. Like he was a nice guy. So I thought.
So was he? So was he in contact with you through those 6 months?
Not really. No.
Oh, okay. So he'd completely left
We'd
you
see
alone.
each other out and stuff, but
Right.
yeah, we
Did you ever speak?
No, I really didn't like me. He hated me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He quickly changed his tune 6 months later.
No, like, I had to graft.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I did graft.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to the point where I was thinking, no, like no one's really matching like him. Like
Yeah.
he was just a really nice guy, and I like a nice person, like.
The shoe fits.
And yeah, he actually did make me like work. Like I got chalk and I wrote outside his house like take me back. Like literally, like I was
Where did you write this?
just outside the path.
Proper in-betweener style?
Yeah.
Proper Simon for in-betweeners?
Yeah.
I love Colin DeMarco.
That was me. Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
I really wanted to be back with him. Like really, really missed him.
Would you write on the pavement for me?
I'd do way more things.
Oh,
for
good.
you.
That's the right answer.
So I got back with him. 6 months down the line, I had to redump him because great. He's a lovely person, but I just didn't fancy him.
Yeah.
And that was where the problem lied, like with me and him in the end. That
Yeah.
I just again like questioned my sexuality because I just didn't fancy, want to sleep
But
with
that
him.
was the same with me and one of the middle girlfriends.
Yeah.
That I just didn't. The one I ended up turning lesbian. I just didn't know whether I fancied her.
Yeah.
I just didn't know whether I was like into it. Or,
I
like,
was doing the deed and thinking about putting the wash, like what am I going to put
Yeah,
for
I
dinner?
was thinking about getting out of the deed. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I don't really want to be doing this. Like, and she would try and make advances, and I'm thinking of excuses to get out of it.
Yeah.
Trying to switch to something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, was not
I think that's
interested.
when you know that it's just not really gonna work, is it?
So Christ, you made him graft. He
graft-
made you grafted.
Yep.
And then you ended up dumping him again. You
I
could have
was
put all
really-
that heartache
yeah.
again. Poor bloke.
I know.
I'm surprised you haven't turned him gay.
I know. I don't think he lasts very much now. To be
No.
honest.
Probably not.
No.
But
And then I was single again, and then I met the man that changed my life, which wasn't you.
no.
Yeah, so then I obviously met Nick. And yeah, that's a long story in itself, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
That's enough day.
I think we can touch on that in another podcast.
So he was
really.
obviously the man that I had my first child with, and yeah, just a relationship that completely, literally changed me as a person, changed everything about the way I look at life, and made me with you today because. And Timmy made all these things like for me. So Timmy, like I knew when I was with Nick that there was nice people out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I hadn't met Timmy, then I would maybe just think that everyone was like Nick.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was nice men out there who would worship the ground that I walked on.
Yeah.
But I was trapped in a relationship where I thought that maybe he did like. It was so weird because I always in my head I was that confident that I'd have said no one's going to cheat on me. Why would they cheat on me? I bring good stuff to the table.
When was that?
When I was with Nick.
So you
So
thought...
I actually was like, when people say that he'd cheat on me, I'd think, why?
Yeah.
Of course he wouldn't.
Did you always think that when you were with him? Or did that ever go?
That went, yeah.
How quick... So from getting together...
Yeah.
To that going, how long was that period?
Probably a year in, I reckon.
So it took a year before that kind of confidence had been knocked out of you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what knocked that confidence out of you?
It was pretty diminishing, to be honest.
Right.
But I always would think, like, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I think I trusted myself.
Yeah.
And I think, like, why? Why would you do that when all I do is anything good for you? Like, everything I'm doing is for you, and everything that... Yeah, I'm just a good girlfriend. Like, why would you want to cheat on me?
Yeah. So, how long were you together for in total? Because that...
Like 3 years.
So you spent sort of 2 years then, sort of really then... not confident in that...
Yeah.
You know, you could be cheated on.
Yeah, like, I think deep down I did know that he was probably cheating on me, but I just still think to myself, like, wow.
Fair enough.
There's still that inner confidence in me from, like, previous, like, and, like, my childhood, I suppose.
Yeah. Where did that confidence come from?
Probably my mum, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did she give you that confidence?
Just would always, like, say that I'm beautiful and just loved me.
Yeah.
Like, gave me a lot of love and just would think I'm the best thing since sliced bread, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sort of made you feel like...
Yeah, like everyone should feel like that with me.
Yeah.
Like, well, why shouldn't they?
Yeah.
My mum does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I just had that... I don't know, I just always had trust in myself that I was a good catch.
So would you say then that you only had real sort of like 2 real relationships then?
Yeah.
Because I felt like I had quite a few.
Yeah, no, I only ever count myself with 2 people having actual proper relationships. But like if I hadn't had them relationships, I definitely wouldn't have appreciated you as much as I do.
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted at that point as well, and just knew that like when I met you that you was like the perfect person. I fancied you, and you was a nice person.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted.
Yeah. That was everything you wanted.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because like I always, and I've told you this as well, that I remember seeing you, and I remember seeing you in the gym and just like looking at you in such awe, like oh god, like you are insane, and even saying out loud to myself like I wish I was your perfect man. I wish I was everything you wanted.
Yeah.
I fancied you so much, and just in my eyes, I'd never seen anyone so beautiful. And
I love that.
I just wanted to talk to you, and I just wished I was with you, and I just wished I had a relationship with you, and I just wished I was everything you wanted. Because if I was everything you wanted, you would want to be with me.
Yeah.
And
you were.
I was. I didn't even know I was, but I was, which
Yeah.
is so crazy that it was like there was definitely someone listening.
Yeah, because I remember walking into the gym and I was in a bad place at the time. Like it wasn't good. Like it wasn't good. Like my relationship. I was still obviously in a relationship when I first ever saw you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. You just like there was never anyone when I was with Nick that I thought, oh, like I really fancy this person. Like, I literally couldn't stop thinking about you. And I don't know what it was because I hadn't even spoke to you.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to go to the gym. I'm pregnant.
So this is the same. I needed to speak to you.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you for the very first time. You were on that cross trainer. I was training that guy, and I just remember thinking like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
I need to know who you are. And I'm looking on the system. Who was Joe training? What was her name?
Yeah.
Found your name. I'm then looking at you on the computer system, like
Yeah.
looking at the picture they take to go with your membership, and you're in your purple vest top, your hair scraped back, and just thinking, oh, who's this person? Then trying to find you on social media so I could just stalk you a bit. And
I don't think I had social media.
No, you did. Well, you did, but you didn't have much on there.
No.
So I could tell you the pictures. They were those kind of like pin-up girl style pictures. You had like 2 or 3 pictures.
Yeah.
There really wasn't much to
go on.
Normally, girls' profiles would have so much. Like,
yeah.
Loads of pictures of nights out, loads of pictures of your friends, loads of pictures of you. Like,
yeah.
That you could just go through and just get a feel for who you were. And I had nothing to go on.
Yeah.
So I would always hope to see you in the gym, so I could just hope that you would talk to me. So it was so good that, you know, when I did that spin class and you came, I just thought, I could not believe you came into that spin class. I couldn't believe it. It's like, what the hell is going on? But it was also like, this is brilliant because now I have a reason to talk to you.
Yeah.
And so when you'd come in the gym, like it'd just be like, how was the spin class? And that was just it. I could then start talking to you, and thankfully we started speaking, and we just carried on.
Yeah.
It just didn't stop, which was brilliant. There was no awkward silences.
I feel like this is like for another podcast.
Yeah, we can definitely
how we met.
we can,
all our feelings about how we met.
We can definitely talk about it in another
Yeah.
podcast. But yeah, I guess that's.
We could talk for hours. Like literally, this is our relationship, isn't it? We could literally talk for hours, and I feel like it's so nice.
Yeah, it is. I think it is. It's brilliant, isn't it? What we have. But I guess it's good to talk about our dating history.
Yeah.
I feel like mine's a bit more extensive than yours,
Yeah.
but yours has definitely got a better story than mine.
Yeah,
Mine's
but like
just
I feel like obviously I didn't talk much about my relationship with my ex, but yeah, it's a whole different story and for a whole different
I know
day
that's a
and,
big.
Yeah, it's a huge part of my life.
It deserves its own show.
Yeah.
So if you are listening and you are piqued, your interest is piqued with Jess's ex, there will be another show coming up specifically on that, because it is a
it's a raw subject.
It's a very raw subject.
Yeah,
as you said.
It probably will make me cry.
Yeah, there you go. It's worthwhile listening to,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's that emotional and raw, but it's, as you said, it's definitely worth its own show. So we'll do that for you guys.
But yes, I hope you've enjoyed listening to us talking about our relationships.
Yeah, this is our very first podcast. This is our very first recording. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you subscribe and you turn on notifications so that you know when we have a new podcast coming out. We'll try and do these as regular as we can. At the moment, we're trying to work out a schedule that works for us. But
We'd like to get weekly ones, wouldn't we, at the moment?
I'd like to think that we will run with a weekly schedule. So I think that's right. I think that gives the listeners enough time to sort of listen to this before moving on to the next.
Yeah.
So,
and also we'd love to interview other people as well. So like obviously it's not don't want this to be about us, but like so if anyone is out there listening and wants to join our podcast, we'd love to ask questions.
Yeah,
about,
absolutely.
I did have Vista Wife message me and want to be part of our podcast.
Oh really? Oh wow, that'd be quite good then. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll figure out a schedule. So stay tuned. These will be going out on all the various podcast platforms that you can download podcasts on. So it'd be great to hear your feedback on what you thought, whether you thought this was great, any kind of subjects that you would like us to explore and sort of talk to you about. And yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. And
we are Jess and Mike, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, this is Pillow Talk. Thank you very much. Bye bye.